Well, it is debate night in America, and in just a few hours, Texas Governor Greg Abbott will face off with Democratic challenger Beto O'Rourke. The lone debate in the Lone Star State, only here on NewsNation. They'll go head-to-head on the most important issues to voters right here on that stage. And they will answer questions submitted by you, our NewsNation viewers. Right now, our NewsNation correspondents are live on the ground in Texas to bring you comprehensive coverage. Let's go first to NewsNation correspondent Robert Sherman, live at Governor Abbott's watch party. That's in McAllen, Texas. Robert, these two are both well known not only in Texas, but also nationally.
That's right, Nicole, and this leads to a fairly unique situation here in which you have two candidates with large national profiles squaring off for one state office. But in this case, what's at stake is the Texas governor's mansion. Few governors have owned the spotlight this year like Greg Abbott, and it all starts at the border.
The mayor of Washington has really picked a beef with you over the fact that there's an invasion going on in Washington, D.C., because you sent 5,000 illegals.
That was August, but the busing of migrants from Texas has not relented, bringing the border crisis to D.C., New York, and Chicago. That's hardly the end of it. The governor has deployed the Texas National Guard and state troopers to the southern border. In April, he temporarily shut down commercial trucking at a border crossing, saying he wanted to force Mexican officials to crack down on drug traffickers and ramp up border security. And he's proud of all of that.
No state in the history of America has done more to secure the border than the state of Texas under my leadership.
And is hoping it carries him to victory for a third term in the governor's mansion.
People are coming out left and right saying this is it, we're done. If this is what the Democratic Party wants, we've got to pull away.
But on the other side, his challenger, Beto O'Rourke, who's had a flair for the dramatic of his own, heatedly confronting the governor in Uvalde following the horrific school shooting that left 19 children and 2 teachers dead. Just today, he returned to Uvalde to meet with families.
He has yet to lift a finger to call a special session, to bring people around the table, to move forward on common sense solutions.
But O'Rourke's national footprint can be traced back to 2018, when he came within 3 percentage points of swiping a U.S. Senate seat from Republican Ted Cruz. In 2020, he took a crack at a White House run. And following a mass shooting in El Paso, he made clear on the debate stage he's a Texan who's not afraid of going against the grain.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore.
But tonight, it's not about the national conversation or presidential aspirations. It's all about Texas. It's all about Texas, and it's all anybody's hearing about down here. A new study out from Wesleyan Media Project found with these two high-profile names on the ballot in this race, more ads have aired here in the state of Texas for this governor's race than any governor's race around the country. Nicole?
It's all about Texas. All right, Robert, thank you for that. The latest polls show Abbott leading by 7 points ahead of this debate, but things could change tonight as they make a nationally televised pitch to voters. Correspondent Kelly Meyer is live for us in Dallas. Kelly, you have been speaking to Texas voters. What is the most important issue they want those candidates to touch on?
Well, Nicole, it's a lot like every other state in the country. There's a lot on voters' minds ahead of this election. There's issues ranging from abortion access following the Supreme Court decision this summer. There's gun safety and keeping kids safe in schools following the mass shooting at Uvalde. There's the economy. That's on a lot of people's minds with the rising costs of homes as well as property taxes. That's expected to come up on the debate stage tonight. The economy is actually the top issue in the new Emerson College Hill polling. Abortion comes in second and immigration third. That's coming up on a lot of voters' minds and set to come up center stage here tonight. Voters saying they want to hear from the candidates exactly how they're going to address this issue, exactly the plan that governors are going to put in place on border security and on immigration. Here's what voters on both sides of the aisle had to say on that issue.
The border is the most important thing, just trying to secure that.
If you're seeking asylum the correct and legal way, that's what America is all about.
And watching closely in these chairs behind me will be a live audience. It's full of a diverse group of Democrats, Republicans, independents, and undecided voters, and they'll be reacting in real time to each question asked at this debate and using a dial to say if they liked that answer or if they didn't. We'll get more into those dials in the next hour. But what's interesting here is most of these participants coming in are saying they know who they're going to vote for in November, but they say that that could change based on what happens in this debate tonight, showing just how much is weighing on this debate. Nichole.
Oh, yeah, I always love seeing that immediate reaction on those dials. Okay, Kelly, thank you for that. Let's give you another look at the stage. This is a live look at the debate stage. It is less than 3 hours away right here on NewsNation, and it does include live analysis before and after. So joining us now, before NewsNation political contributor Chris Stirewalt, who is also in Texas for us this evening. Chris, how closely are you watching independent voters and undecided voters and their reactions tonight?
Well, first, I have to just tell you something that just as an experiential thing here on the ground in Texas, I've been a part of a lot of presidential debates. The energy around this hall, the security, the campaigns, the intensity around this feels like a presidential debate. You can tell people are really keyed up about this. It's a big race. It's a big contest. And it's really cool to be here because it locks in how important this race is for the people of Texas, how crucial this is for the people of Texas. But of course, I'm selfish. And my selfishness is I want to know about the rest of the country, and I want to know about the rest of midterms. I love Texas. I hope they get everything they want, except for beating WVU on Saturday. I hope all good things for Texas, but I want to know out of this debate, and I want to know out of tonight, what's the message that we're going to take out of the for the rest of the country about this? Border security, crime, inflation, the Biden agenda. How does Greg Abbott talk about Donald Trump? Texas is the proving ground for all of these questions, and I cannot wait to see it.
All right, well, we know you are fired up there, Chris. You say that you're being selfish. I don't think you are. A lot of people are watching. So that brings me to my next question. How about all the other candidates in major races outside of Texas? Let's think, Fetterman Oz, Warnock Walker. Are they all watching tonight as well?
Well, look, Beto O'Rourke has a great opportunity tonight to change the trajectory of a race. Definitely, Abbott made a calculated choice. He's only going to have one debate. And by the way, if I could just, again, and please indulge me for a second to say the power of local news, the power of great local reporting to create an accountability structure so that the governor of Texas and his challenger have to do a debate. And where do they have to go to do a debate? They've got to come and talk to our colleagues. And I just think that's an awesome thing. And the power of local news really well expressed. But I'm sure everybody around the country wants to know, how do these two candidates, by the way, one who was part of the presidential campaign in 2020 and one who might be part of the presidential campaign in 2024, how do they deal with these questions? How do they talk about this stuff? And how do they connect to, as you referenced earlier, independent voters? How do they stick the landing with those folks? Beto O'Rourke, who is leads with his heart, who is famously emotive and emotional in his approach to politics. Greg Abbott, who tends to be a little dry. How do they bring the right temperament? How do they bring the right energy to the stage tonight to tip those undecided, persuadable, independent voters one way or the other? Abbott has led consistently, but not by such a large margin that this night, this moment, might not change the trajectory of this race.
All right, well, Chris, I got to say, I love your energy. So we'll keep that excitement going. Chris, thank you for that. And don't forget, tonight you can tune into NewsNation for Debate Night in America. Watch exclusive coverage of the only Texas governor's debate this year between Governor Greg Abbott, challenger Beto O'Rourke. NewsNation is the only place you can watch that debate nationally. Leland Bittert hosts special coverage. It starts at 6 Central, and then afterward we'll have instant live analysis. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.